second round game. It has been a gloomy day in the upper Midwest, but that certainly will not dampen the enthusiasm of this enormous crowd that has gathered to watch the Auburn Tigers take on the Iowa State Cyclones. Both these teams, of course, advanced and play here on Thursday. Later tonight, we've got UCLA against Maryland, and the two winning teams will go on to Auburn Hills next Thursday. Good evening, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Bill Raftery. Welcome to Minneapolis. And this Iowa State team has gotten a lot of their folks excited, Bill, and they've got an inside-outside combo that really works.
Who wouldn't get excited about Marcus Fizer? Dynamite deep on the floor, putting it on the floor, posting up, but alongside Mr. Excitement, Jamaal Tinsley. Bernie can show it and take it away with the best of them. He's a magician with the basketball. He understands weight distribution, put you back. He's an ankle buster, ankle turner. He's got the kiss shots at the end. Look at this, show it, take it back. A lot of lingerie lingering when he's on the floor.
The Auburn Tigers, of course, lost their star, Chris Porter, late February. They've struggled a little bit since then, but they've got Mamadou Njai, who has been a force in the middle.
And when they want to run, it's so important that he plays good defense. If he can make presentations, negate attempts around the rim, they can get it going the other way. This should help them. McGandy has stepped up magnificently. He can make deep shots. He understands how to post up. He can draw a little nylon from deep.
And the third member of our commentary team, let's join him now. Here's Arlen Kateya.
Thanks, Vern. You know, these coaches believe this is much of a mental matchup. It is a physical one, and to help relieve some of the mental strain. Auburn head coach Cliff Ellis told us yesterday he took his team to the Mall of America for 90 minutes, let them walk around and break up some of that cabin fever staying at the hotel. As for Larry Eustace, the Iowa State head coach, he said after that win over Central Connecticut, you know what? He blew off a film session, a late night session, and said, hey guys, go out and do your thing. I'll see you at 12:30 for bed check. He believes a team that's mentally tougher today is going to win it. Back to you, Vern.
Now let's check the lineups for Iowa State and Auburn. First, the Auburn starting five. Mac McGadney, Mamadou Njai, bothered by a bad knee, but he has been a force. Jay Hurd, Damian Fishback, and Doc Robinson, the senior point guard. And for Iowa State, the All-American Marcus Fizer, Stevie Johnson, Cantrell Horton, Jamaal Tinsley, and if you've not seen him, you will enjoy watching. And Michael Nurse rounds out the starting five. And our refereeing trio today, led by Mike Sanzier, Bob Donato, and Donnie Gray. Iowa State seeded number 2. They get the tip. It's in the hands of Jamaal Tinsley.
And Vern Lundquist, Auburn goes minute.
Quickly so. Here's the entry pass. Fizer first shot, no tip, no good. Stevie Johnson comes out. And Nurse will get it back in the hands of Jamaal Tinsley.
Stevie Johnson plays so big, much bigger than his size.
Off the dribble, Cantrell Horton in the lane, off the glass and in.
Well, they feel he played not as well as he's capable of the other day, stepping up a little kiss down the lane.
Now, Larry Eustace telling us he expected Horton to have a much, much better game today. Now, Doc Robinson, Michael Nurse out on him. Jamaal Tinsley picks up Damian Fishback.
And Fishback should be able to get a shot off over Tinsley, but here they get a 5-second call, a little breakdown. How about that pressure by the little guy? A pretty good defense by Mel as they call Tinsley, but how about this with Horton? They love to value that 3-second area, and Fizer moves out, gives the little guys room to roam.
Now Jamaal Tinsley, he's picked up by Fishback. There's the pick from Johnson. Tinsley, a baseline move, and that will send him to the free throw line. I'll tell you a little bit more about Iowa State, located in Ames, Iowa. About a 3-hour drive down Interstate 35 from here in the Big 12. Their first conference championship this season since 1945 when they won the Big 6.
Wow, it's grown a little bit since then. Of course, the first time I heard about them was Gary Thompson, known as the Rolling Rocket. And I was fortunate enough to see Gary out here, a great performer. Of course, Johnny Orr later, as we said the other day, coached did an outstanding job with Hornacek and Greer and people like that. But Stacey has them perking pretty good, Vern.
Jamaal Tinsley gets 2 free throws. That enhances the lead and makes it 4-0. Gary Thompson, the first All-American in Iowa State history, and Marcus Fizer, a consensus All-American pick. The announcement made last week.
He's the real thing. Here's the pressure on the ball. This is where Larry Eustace thought they could get better.
Tinsley does a reach from behind, and Jay Hurd drives the lane, starting in his 5th consecutive game now, and he gets the first Auburn basket.
They svelte Jay Hurd.
Well, not really, Bill.
Is that where they want to get a little zone look here, Vern?
Jay Hurd has put on some pounds this year. Now Fizer measures his man, and his man in this instance is McGadney. Fizer misses his second shot. He had 27 points in game 1. He's had 5 games of 30+ in the last 9 games Iowa State has played.
Doc Robinson, a catalyst here, does a nice job getting Auburn into their sets. Also can break you down with the dribble.
There's Jay Hurd with a jumper, and he's got 4 points. That's inside the line for 2.
Take a little shove as he turned the corner, but getting back to his weight. They were telling us, the Auburn people, that this summer he ate and didn't work out. He's still eating, but he's working out, so they hope he comes back. And Fishback goes out for him, come up gimpy.
Fishback limping as he heads toward the bench. Damian Fishback, he has been bothered by a cyst on his right knee. I don't know whether this is a knee injury or not. The cyst has been there for a little bit of time.
And during the 2-3 zone, you can locate Fizer better. He's very good at passing out of these double team or help situations.
Spin move by Tinsley. Back in his hands, he takes the jumper. Fizer for the rebound, but it comes down Marquis Daniels, who is a quick entrance into the game, and Johnson picks up the foul.
You can rebound better. You can be in position to run the other way. Cliff Ellis, who has been around a few years, got to know him at Clemson, where he developed some terrific big guys. Eldon Campbell, Dale Davis comes to mind.
Guy named Grant.
Yeah, Horace. He and Harvey for what, 1 year, right?
That's right.
He went to Oklahoma.
Back it comes to Jay Hurd. Now Tinsley guarding him again. Doc Robinson with a jumper off the mark. Fizer gets his first board of the game. Kicks it to Tinsley, 3-on-3. Jamaal Tinsley, little underhanded dish, finds Stevie Johnson off the glass for 2 more.
He's got a flair in everything he does, and of course almost a home game for Iowa State.
Now this is a huge red and gold clad crowd here. We had 22,000 for game 1 Thursday, and I think we will exceed that easily tonight. Here's Marquis Daniel. Wow.
Not an easy shot either, and not the presentation Fizer held in abeyance.
Freshman from Orlando gets 2, and now Auburn goes into his own.
It's a little 1-3-1, although they're matching up just a little.
Skip pass, Nurse into the corner. Cantrell Horton looks for Fizer, and Fishback is putting the body on it.
He sure is, and they got Njai Lumen in the back.
McGadney,
correct.
That's out of bounds off Iowa State.
And Vern, some of the difficulty is the zone you can't dribble as easily against, but right down, as you mentioned, McGadney all over him, and in the back, you got the big fella there who can negate. So in a sense, it's a double team out of the zone.
Cliff Ellis said he's going to rotate bodies on Fizer through much of the day and pray he doesn't get fouled from it.
I spoke to one of the assistants, Eugene Harris. He said they are focused. He said he hasn't seen this in a while for Auburn. Well, it's the time of year.
Jay Hurd just a bit short. Nice position for Stevie Johnson. Now here comes Jamaal Tinsley. Alley-oop. Fizer a little deep. Gets his own miss and will go to the free throw line.
He puts such pressure on you, Vern. His ability to get the puppies up and down. He streaks by little guys, and he's got wonderful, soft hands. And then the composure. First to take the hit, shot negated, to gather. And this is a ton of strength going up there. About 260, would you say?
Yes. And he's lost 35 pounds in the offseason.
Well, when Larry Eustace came in, he wasn't happy about the demands on the conditioning, but he's very happy now the way things have progressed with his career.
Marcus Fizer was telling us last night that after Tim Floyd went to the NBA and Larry Eustace came in, he was fighting it. And he fought it most of last year. And during the offseason, he thought to himself, I'm not going to gain anything by fighting this program, and he bought into it.
A little lane violation here.
Fizer gets a couple from the free throw line. 8-6, Iowa State.
Let's take a look at our data bank and
Minneapolis, Auburn's Tigers and the Iowa State Cyclones. 15-14, Auburn in the lead here, and well, the idea for Auburn is to stop Marcus Fizer.
And so far, so good. He's 0 of 4 from the field. He's made 2 points, both from the foul line. And Auburn doing a nice job shooting the ball, Greg. They've made 7 of their 12 field goal attempts. Neither team yet to knock down the triple.
Auburn's Damian Fishback limped off the court early in this game with a slight sprain to the ankle, but he is expected to return.
And what they're doing with Marcus Fizer, they're trying to front him in the post. If they don't front him, then they're trying to front him because Mamadou Ndiaye is an excellent shot blocker, and he can kind of roam the lane and cover the paint area if they confront Fizer down in the low post.
We'll keep an eye on this game as well. Meanwhile, let's get you back to the West Region action in Tucson.
The key, more and more trips with a closeout, deny, force the issue.
Jamaal Tinsley, Marcus Fizer, Michael Nurse, Rancic, and Hawkins on the floor for the second-seeded Iowa State team. Oh, nice job.
It sure was.
Yep.
They tried the lob, the screen for Fizer. Tinsley off the mark.
Marquis Daniels defending, Fishback way outside. Rancic goes up, grabs it. And he puts it in the hands of Brendan Hawkins. Rancic, yes!
And a real good non-call as well. Well, Rancic able to bring it out, which complements your guards. Push the ball, get yourself set.
Fishback way off the mark. A 7-2 run. Here's Hawkins. Back to Tinsley. There's the spin move, but it's off his foot and out of bounds.
A little too well. You're going to do that when you're frequently penetrating, but what helps this club? Rancic now run out. Now he gets into a lane, Vern. Gets himself established, and I love the non-call here. Under the rim, let it go. A little kiss by the big fella. Coming back to this area where he'd gone to high school.
Martin Rancic, a native of Bratislava, Slovakia. And in his junior season, 6'8", 230-pounder. And they welcome him back. Paul Shirley, the other big man, still bothered by a broken bone in his foot. And Larry Eustace tells us he doesn't think he'll play at all tonight. Robinson, little runner for 2.
And also a page out of our book, a little weave from the old days.
Yes.
Ndiaye just hasn't had any time. They go strong. Go strong.
Fizer up and under. Travel.
Wow, he is somewhat frustrated. Ndiaye gave up the early post, but the close down, the double, forced Fizer. And right now, for the first time, it's not coming easy. The last couple of weeks, the flow has been his way. Eustace, big defense. Guys that have influenced him. Bob Boyd, great coaches. Southern Cal, and Tim Floyd, of course, who was at Iowa State prior to him.
Richard Evans on the floor now, number 00 for Iowa State. Rancic gets a rest. Nice pass in the lane. Ndiaye off the mark. Fizer with a rebound.
And nice pry, though. That's what he's got to do, shape up.
Hawkins, Evans hurries into the post. Now Fizer gets there. And Fishback has it. Over Fishback, still hasn't scored, but the follow from Richard Evans is good.
Nice little play, but of course, don't forget, Vern, Ndiaye is over double teaming. The weak side area is going to be open for rebounds.
First bench points for Iowa State. They're up by 3. Oh, another turnover. Here's Brandon Hawkins all by himself. In a tie game, 32 all, 47.9 to go, first half.
And Vern, it's been just terrific defense by Auburn. A little matchup look. They'll trail cutters. They'll contain on the defensive end the penetration of Iowa State and then identify Fizer. Once they identify him, they get a front and back on him, and it's been very hard for him. And I think emotionally, he has to just relax a little, take a deep breath. It's gone smoothly. Once in a while, it isn't the way you want it, so don't fight it.
Martin Rancic takes his place for the final 45 seconds. Fizer 1 of 7 from the field, and showing that frustration in some glances he's exchanging with the officiating crew.
Yeah, they're not love looks, are they?
No, not at all. Up and under, Stevie Johnson short. Here comes Auburn with a chance to add to their 1-point lead, and they will play for the final shot in the first half. Larry Eustace yelling at his troops, don't foul.
Got to go now. Run your play. And they're going to do a dribble drive.
Robinson. Nope. Hurd. Out of bounds off Tinsley. 3.3 to go.
And Vern, how often do you end up with shots like that when you're holding for one? Instead of getting into the rhythm of the game, you don't have to score or shoot it, but run your stuff, and then you might end late with a good shot.
Jamison Brewer is going to come on the floor now to make the inbounds pass. He replaces Marquis Daniel. And it's taken away, stolen by Nurse. And we have reached the
Tigers and the Iowa State Cyclones. This is a one-point game as they've gotten underway in the second half. Let's take you there live and catch some of the action with Vern Lundquist and Bill Raftery.
After the turnover, here's Doc Robinson, and Auburn reclaims the lead with a three-pointer.
And what had happened at the far, Tinsley had made a nice pivot move. They called the walk and the counter by Auburn.
Daniels off the bench leads Auburn with 10 points. But the real story here, Marcus Fizer has been limited offensively in this game.
And it's all the mixing defenses that have confused them. Also, guys taking it upon themselves on the perimeter with dribble penetration, and he has not been in the game. He's making a cut one way, the ball's going the other, it's on the floor.
Johnson shoots again. Foul was on Njai. Johnson will have one more.
We're talking about Johnson. He may decide to play football in his extra year. His dad was a pretty good football. You probably called some of his dad's games with the Broncos, did you? You've been around for a while.
Yeah, you're right. There's the tip. Off the miss. I just assumed you didn't remind me.
Didn't you call Frank Tribuca's games as a quarterback?
Tied at 38. An enormous crowd here in Minneapolis, and this has been enjoyable.
What a great atmosphere. Quick jack, and Njai was trying to post up.
Offensive board. Fishback gets the return. Takes the jumper. Hands it. That's for three.
Terrific open shooter, and he's got size over the perimeter people. They can't contest.
Back to the zone now for Auburn. And here's Fizer. Double comes from Njai. He goes baseline. No. Robinson saves it.
Pretty good move by Fizer though, Vern. Away from the double. He got the baseline shot off.
Here's Doc Robinson. Little runner short. And Michael Nurse gets it in the hands of Tinsley. No numbers.
Of course.
Yep. Hit the bottom of the rim.
And nothing there. Wisely held back by Auburn.
3-point Auburn Tiger lead. The 7 seed leads the 2 seed. And a foul on Tinsley. Auburn and Iowa State. Our second game will be UCLA, Maryland. And the winners of those two games advance to the Midwest Regional. Next week, Auburn Hills on Thursday and Saturday.
Tigers and the Cyclones look like a game worth keeping tabs on this evening as they progress, don't you think? 41-30.
4 overtime games, and 3 teams thus far, Syracuse, Michigan State, LSU, have advanced to the Sweet 16. One of these two will join them. Here's the inbound play to Michael Nurse. Pressure applied by Auburn.
And they back it off for a little trap and then recover. Their half-court defense has been terrific. Puzzling and confusing. It looks like a straight-up man this trip.
Reggie Sharp is on the floor, number 11. He picks up Horton. Here's Tinsley guarded by Scott Pullman, who's back on.
And now that's the match, and they try and slip to the tin. Horton.
Tinsley.
You notice how they've taken away his dribble penetration?
Yes.
It's not the same. It's all this jam and ice post pass.
Yes, it was. That's from Horton.
Terrific as Johnson holds off. Good catch and finish.
And here comes the crowd again, Bill.
They won't go away.
Much larger crowd from Iowa State than from Auburn. Unsurprisingly, here's McGadney from the corner. No rebound. Cantrell Horton.
They play bigger. He gets over 4 rebounds a game. Look at this lob.
Fizer will go to the line.
I thought a pretty good block by Fishback. There's the game for Fizer. Maybe he is in it for, that's the first time we've seen him sprint the floor and able to dominate. But the ability to feed the post, a lost start. And right here, the easy finish because of the on the platter delivery. And the duck in, the strength, he can turn, catch. And I thought that was pretty good up above. Maybe a little nickel dimer underneath.
Marcus Fizer showing a little pain after being fouled.
Nice piece of officiating here, too, to let him get calmed down.
And now at the free throw line.
I would think Larry Eustace at halftime would suggest, hey, relax a little bit. Some nights things don't come your way easily. We'll get you involved. We'll give you a few more touches. Underneath the rim is where he got swatted at the end here. Well, I guess he did get bagged a little bit underneath. A little small change. I thought it was a pretty good protection, giving up the easy one.
And now Marcus Fizer shoots one more.
What a solid year he has had, Brian. He's so impressed. The more you get a chance to see his total game, and loves the chance to get in the NCAA. That's what it was all about for him.
That's right. Spent some time trying to make the team for the World University Games last summer. He made the final 16, but did not survive the last cut. And he spent time around guys who had been to the Final Four. He said, that's my goal.
In particular, Kevin Freeman from Connecticut. He saw his ring, came back, said, guys, we got to get to the NCAA.
Little jumper? No. Here comes Tinsley. Fizer late getting down. They'll come back and reload.
Great defensive stance by Doc. One of the things they want to keep the ball in front on penetrate. They got the little luggage maneuver.
They called him for palming the ball. And Fizer must keep himself in control.
Well, Auburn has been able to keep it on the perimeter. Let's just see if he does. Yeah, that's one of those little Allen Iverson maneuvers at Georgetown.
Turnovers now tied at 8.
It's been a pretty well-played game, Vern. Trying to establish Njai. Fizer doing a great job with the Fulker. They got him now. Jump
There's
hook.
Njai, jump hook, got it.
There you go. Get him involved.
Mamadou Njai, another of those 4 seniors, and we include Chris Porter, who are on schedule to graduate for Auburn. Left side it goes, off the dribble, back to Johnson and Tinsley. Jumper for Tinsley, got it for 3.
Well, he needs to step up for his team. They feed off of him as well as Fizer. Fizer not getting the opportunities. Might as well be the little guy at the point.
10 ties, 8 lead changes.
Well, Auburn established Njai. See if they can be patient and get him again.
Scott Pullman. Tinsley out on him.
Scotty's got to keep moving. That's where he loses Tinsley. If he on the ball, he's tough defensively.
Now he cuts back left side. Shot clock at 5. Doc, spin move. Johnson is there. It's short.
And they thought it was a whistle. Did you see everybody stop?
Yes, absolutely. Here's Tinsley again. Foul on Doc Robinson.
As good a same-hand change as I've seen in college basketball. He comes at you, and this is where you get the abuser, which is what the kids back in New York called them. He just comes right at you with the left hand, keeps it in the seam, makes the move to the tin.
That's the first foul on Doc Robinson. 5 team fouls for Auburn. Only 2 in this half for Iowa State. Cantrell Horton put a shoulder down from the corner. Spot up for 3.
Drive, draw, present.
Njai, Pullman, put back Marquis Daniels. Fizer got it.
Great cut by Pullman, couldn't finish in traffic.
Here's Tinsley, way outside. Oh,
St. Paul, that's a little further.
no, that was from Madison. He's in the heart of Wisconsin from that one. Robinson.
And they get it outside, no shot.
No basket. though Cliff Ellis was pleading his case. Time has been called.
Line. You can see Fizer with the body rub and not pushing him far enough out.
Njai can't make it a three-point play. It's a 7-point lead. Horton, Stevie Johnson back outside, and Tinsley calls for it. Now Fizer goes into the low post.
Nice
pass. Oh boy, he went around the world and he's going to get a chance to shoot a free one.
What a great play. With 10 and change left, there's no way Fizer was going to come out with the third foul. You've got to go to him if you use him, but the ability to duck and get in position, just extraordinary. It wasn't even a screen, but Horton drags the attention as he makes the cut, the catch, the finish. The big fella, maybe on track. Malone-ish. Would you give him Karl Malone, Louisiana Tech?
That's the comparison that's being made. Marcus Fizer said yesterday he has not met Karl Malone, but he appreciates the comparison.
Well, he can deliver mail to me anytime. Marcus Fizer.
14 points, rebound, Johnson. Nurse to the right side. They do not have numbers, so they'll come back and set it.
Good recognition.
Jamaal Tinsley now with 6 assists in this game. He's got 240 for the year. That is a single season Iowa State record.
Now this is what Arkansas did to Auburn. Spread the floor, one-on-one dribble penetration in the final of the SEC. A little out of control. Cantrell. We're trying to give the foul here, I think. It's up to Ketchum to give one.
There it is.
Did you have to see Tinsley there with the little globy spin on his head? That was maybe a message to one of the officials for some earlier problems.
Auburn's Tigers and Iowa State Cyclones a minute 14 to play. We join Vern Lundquist and Bill Raftery.
13-point Iowa State lead. Jamison Brewer at the line. And the rebound into the hand of Michael Nurse. Fizer calls for it at the other end. Nurse trapped in the backcourt. Can't get rid of it. Marquis Daniels, offensive foul.
Nice job. Really terrific defense. You turn it over, you got to make up for it. And the little words there as Michael Nurse is spoken to by some of his teammates. Cliff Ellis not really happy with that particular call, but it's been extra effort defensively and the establishment inside. And they got a little timeout. I think old Larry Stacey wants to give a little earful.
Timeout called Iowa State. (73-60) with 64 seconds to go. The CBS Sportsline stat of the game. Free throws. Iowa State has been to the line 27 times, and they have converted an outstanding 22. And that the theme we talked about in the first half. How aggressive they are in getting to the line.
And as importantly as that is, Vern, Larry Eustachy, your job as a coach is to make adjustments. In the first half, they were puzzled. I think the coaches were puzzled as to how to cope with the matchup defense of Auburn. They were not able to dribble drive, which is much of their game. They couldn't establish Marcus Fizer down on the box, the double ups, the confusion down there. But at halftime, they opened it up, did a little individual screen across on occasion, and developed a consistent attack on the offensive end, particularly when Fizer was awakened.
Mac McGadney has just fouled out with 8 points, and Jamaal Tinsley goes to the line. 73-60. Coming next in our coverage of the men's NCAA championship, Gonzaga against St. John's, and here in Minneapolis, we've got a terrific matchup. UCLA against Maryland. Tinsley 1 of 2. Auburn made a very good game of this, Bill, for much of the second half.
They sure did. Unfortunately, they just didn't have the firepower Getting it inside, settling for deep shots now. The three's not going down. As you noted, look at this lead.
Tinsley, Johnson, Njai with a foul, and Stevie Johnson will shoot 2.
Well, they know when to stick that dagger in, though. Tinsley with the lead. The acknowledgement at the end by Johnson.
(74-60).
Cliff reached into the bag, huh? With the changes in the defensive look. Just to control this potent offensive team.
Now, one of the nice stories here on Thursday night, Jimbo Talbert, who has been the manager for the last 2 years, was given a uniform, a number. He got into the lineup, played just a little bit at the end of the game. Nice note, not going to happen today.
He'll have a changed attitude now that he's on the varsity. Get those towels over there, son.
Brewer off the front rim. And the Iowa State Cyclones are going to go 31-4. They're going to join Michigan State and Syracuse and one other team, either UCLA or Maryland, at the Palace of Auburn Hills next Thursday. Jamaal Tinsley, what a path. The streets of Brooklyn, a community college in California, all Big 12 this year, and he's going to the Sweet 16. And he's going to be joined there by Marcus Fizer, an All-American. Iowa State advances to the round of 16 with a convincing 79-60 win over Auburn. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game, Mamadou Njai with 9 points and 3 rebounds for Auburn. Marcus Fizer, 16 second-half points and a double-double again. Stacy enjoyed this one, and she's going to get to watch some more basketball. Greg and Clark when we come back.